Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss about how to create chart of account in GL. It's a Oracle Cloud Financials. So first we'll discuss about what it is, the meaning of the chart of account. So chart of account is one of the key important configurations in the accounts. It is a general ledger model. It comes under the Fusion account accounting hub as well as. But yeah. So the chart of account is the structure for organizing financial information and reporting. An entity records transactions with a set of codes representing balancing by type, expense type functions, and other divisionals or organizational codes that are important to its business. So overall, it's saying about it is a kind of like a heart of the general ledger model while you're creating the chart of account structure. So here, ideally, this will be creating or this will be implementing at this time of when you implement the new ERP for the company, or I would say client. So here, while implementing, first we need to engage with client to understand their current business, what it is like, as is process to understand it, how many segments they are using in the current ERP system. Let's say example, SAP or any other, etc. applications. If they wants to migrate to Oracle Cloud Fusions, then as being as a consultant, go and gather the information. So how many segments they wants to create and what are the structures and these other things you need to get from the client. Once you get that information, and then you can start creating the or implementing the chart of account. And also, this is one of the key, as I mentioned, is a key setup or configurations. Why? Because this is the one of the functionality where we are going to create the chart of accounts, which covers or comes everything, all the business transactions will be recording under this particular chart of accounts. And this is the place where all the subledger accounting models also will be depending on the chart of accounts while they are recording the purchasing or sales, collections, payments, and reconciliations and reports, taxation reports, and month-end reports, all which comes under the financial reports. Example, trial balance, payroll account, profit and loss accounts, balance sheet. This all the financials related reports would be depending on your chart of account only. So that's where it's a key important configurations. And go to the benefits. So if it is well designed chart of account will be providing the very good benefits as below mentioned. Effectively manage an organization's financial business. As I mentioned, it's a financial business, right? It is capturing all the transactions which is related your purchasing transactions and payment transactions and receivable transactions and collection transactions, billing transactions, and other adjustments kind of related informations and taxation related information, and these all things will be comes from the financial business only, right? So that's where it could be very good to maintain the records. Support to the audit and control of financial transactions. This is another very good benefit. If we have very structured way of the chart of accounts, the way how you are going to designing by providing the right information to the clients, it would be helpful for them during the audit periods or year-end books closing and all things depending on the your chart of accounts. That's where I mentioned as a audit and control. It would be very clear when they do internal audit or external audit also, they will come and verify or validate each and transactions which already exist in the application. That's where we need to be very cautious while implementing the chart of account structures. Provides flexibility for management reporting and analysis. So nowadays, if you look at any organization, not only one or smaller SSL or this big organizations also, financial reports are most important to the management to make a decision. Certain, if you want to take a certain decision based on the current financial situation of the organization, so in this place we need to produce the right information to the organization. That will be happen through your depending on the chart of account structures, right? So this is the why you should have the proper and well designed kind of chart of account structures when we import implementation and maintenance and organization changes occurs. Example, we shouldn't be implement as a complexity of the chart of accounts. Why? Because it always should be flexible to the organization needs. Let's say example today, if I implemented is a complexity of the chart of accounts, in the future I may not able to make some changes, isn't it? That's where it should be always flexible of the chart of account structures, and it would be efficient data process flow also. Let's say example, Oracle has given a structured way of the segments while we creating or implementing the chart of accounts. Two are those two segments are the is a bare minimum or is it two are the mandatory, I would say in other words, and the limitation of the segments are 30. So here none of the clients, as per my experience, none of the clients will not go for the more than 7 or 9 or max to max 10 segments only, which is collection of the different segments. Example, company, line of business, cost centers, natural account, intercompany, future one, future two, product. These are the set of 8 or 7 would be the best implementation. If you go behind that, what will happen? It's very difficult to managing or while entering the transactions also, it would be kind of difficult or it not much of friendly user to the business users. At the same time, when you create multiple reports based on the current requirement, it would be cause for the performance issue while run the large reports. Let's say example, if you go to run the account analysis report, it would be very large report where it will be cause for the performance issue. That's where it should be very short and sweet. Example, 1 to 5 or 1 to 7 or 1 to 9. That would be the right segments which you can implement it to the clients. So let's get into application. So I will show you how to create and where to go and create. First, once you log into application, go to setup and maintenance. Here you can see setup financials. Under the functional area, you can choose general ledger module. Click on here. Search for chart of account. Chart of account structures. So prior to that, we need to create chart of account value sets. So why? Because it is interdependent configurations. So I'll go and explain how to create structures without having this one, but we'll go first create two, at least two value sets. Yes, from here, click on value set name. Let's say example, X, or I will say RR, triple R company. Description, you can provide anything or same as it is. Remember, this value set creations and chart of account creations, value set value or value set values will be creating. These all things comes under the only one module that is called as a general ledger module. Look for the general ledger model and the validation type, how it is going to be performing on the application. So always it would be like as a independent and a validation type. So value data type. So you can choose character, number, date, and time. So Oracle has given 4 seeded options for us, but always like you keep it as a characters and value subtype. You can choose text and what is the length for that. You can choose like up to 4 or 5, up to our wish. But when you implementing in the client place, that time like the client will provide the how the value sets would be, like what is the value set code and uh, validation type and the value data type and maximum length. These all things will be provided by the client. And save the record. Now we can notice manage values tab got enabled automatically. Previously it was grayed out. Save and close and create another RR account. As I mentioned, 2 segments are most important. It's mandatory to have. Under ledger. Validation type should be independent is a character and a select value type is text. And here you can choose 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is. Save, save, save the record and close. Now, just go back. Always best practice is that once you define or configure any functionality in the application, go and cross check that either those things successfully created or not created. Now I can see what I created. 2 value set codes are available here, right? So first you can go ahead and you can provide the manage values. Just you can create it as a manage value. What I given there, I have given 5 the right length. So I can provide the only 5. Let's say example 45005 and says that RR private limited. And if you want to create how many things, you can create it as a companies. Yes, a group of companies or individual company as well as 45006 RR movie, or I would say RR consulting private limited. So save and close. Similarly for account, click on here. Values are given 4, right? 4300 and here retain and earnings, and create another one expenses. For time being, creating as a additional one expenses. So enable, if you want to keep it as, if you want, let's say example in the future, or there would be ask from the client says that this particular value I do not want to use anymore, right? So if you get that kind of requirement, you can go ahead and keep it as a end date. It means it will get inactive mode. Save and close. So now I created the value set codes. So I will close here, go to the structures. Structure is nothing but as a KFF, key flexi field code. Already we have predefined one, which is given with Oracle. So just go and click on here, structure, create our own structure. Says that RRCOA. So delimiter. So how we are going to divide your segments by using any one of them, right? So save record here. As I mentioned, we need to have two segments. So you can create here RR company segment, and sorry, okay, and description and sequence is a number one, and prompt and a short prompt, display width I can give 4, and here choose column name is the which is the segment 1. I told you Oracle has given the limitation is 30, right? So I can use only first one starts with the segment 1, and here you can choose which you have created the previous step, that is called RR. Here you can see company. Just what I'm doing, just I'm going to mapping with my segment to my Valys code. That is what I'm doing here, just mapping it. And here segment labels. Segment labels always like to identify the this segment belongs to what kind of actions can be performed in the application. Here is a company always should be tagged to primary segment balancing value. So here you can see that primary balancing segment. Select. Now the system can understand this particular segment will be act as a primary balancing segment. That's what we are mapping the segment label here. Click on save and close. Here. Another one. RR account. Similarly, what we did, same approach. You have to repeat for the how many segments you want to create it. Here I have given segment 1 in the previous, segment 2, and here select RR account. Always natural account would be as a natural account segment labels. Select, move here, save the record. So I have created the structure. So now I'm going to map this structure to my instance, chart of account instance. If I go here, come here, create my chart of account structure, what I have given as instance, RRCOA. Same, you can choose here, description, and here you can choose our chart of account which you have created, RR chart of account. Now we can see automatically this got populated over here because just we are mapping our structure to structure instance where we can go and create segment values. If you're not creating this one, we cannot able to create the values and map the accounting types, right? So that's where we need to do these things here. The structure instance. Save and close and run the deployment. So deploy is nothing but like where the system is going to be activate our chart of account structures instances in the application. For that, we need to run deploy FlexiField job. What it does, it will go in the application, validate what we have created, and update the backend SQL tables. Under the respective SQL tables, this all the values will be mapping to the particular tables. That is what it is going to be doing right now. If something went wrong, it will give the wrong information, like it will be errored out here. We need to wait until to complete 100% successfully. Like this is how we can create or implement new chart of account while we are implementing the ERP systems to any organization or any clients. Thanks for watching my video. Please do subscribe and like and share the videos also, and keep watching the further videos as well. Thank you.